In the beginning, when time was still a new concept and the universe was just starting to take shape, there was only God and his angels. God, in his infinite wisdom, created the angels to be his loyal servants to help him create the universe. Among the angels, there was one who stood out from the rest. His name was Lucifer, and he was the most beautiful and powerful of all the angels. He had a pride that matched his beauty and believed that he was equal to God. Lucifer would often challenge God's authority and question his decisions. Despite God's love and patience, Lucifer continued to push the boundaries of his power, gathering followers among the other angels who also began to doubt God's authority. These angels became known as the fallen ones. As time went on, Lucifer and his followers grew bolder in their rebellion against God. They started to create their own universe, a dark and twisted realm where they could rule as they saw fit. They plotted against God to overthrow him and take his place as the supreme being. But God, in his infinite wisdom, knew of their treachery and cast them out to heaven, banishing them to the dark realm they had created for themselves. It was a place of suffering and torment, a world where they were forever cut off from the light and love of God. Lucifer, now known as Satan, swore revenge against God and made it his life's mission to corrupt mankind, tempting them with the same pride and ambition that had led him astray. He became the embodiment of evil, the prince of darkness, and the greatest enemy of God and humanity. Lucifer, also known as Satan or the devil, is one of the most infamous figures in religious lore. He is often depicted as a malevolent, horned creature with a pitchfork, tempting humans to sin and leading them astray from the path of righteousness. But who is Lucifer, and what do we know about his origins and motivations? One of the most commonly cited texts regarding Lucifer's fall from grace is Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 through 15, which describes a morning star that has fallen from the heavens. Some scholars believe that this passage is actually referring to the Babylonian king, but many others interpret it as a metaphorical description of Lucifer's rebellion against God. Satan's story is a cautionary tale of pride, envy, and rebellion. As one of God's most beautiful and powerful angels, Satan was once a cherished member of the heavenly court, but his ego and ambition grew to monstrous proportions, leading him to challenge God's authority and claim the throne of heaven for himself. Satan's downfall began with his arrogant desire to be like God. In Isaiah chapter 14, verses 12 through 15, he declares, "I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High." This hubristic rebellion led to his expulsion from the heavens. As Lucifer's thoughts grew darker, he began to speak his mind to his fellow angels, convincing them they could be more than what they were. He spoke of a world where they would not be mere servants, but rulers in their own right. He promised them power and control, and they listened, their own pride and ambition fueling their desire to be more. But you can fuel our channel with your like and subscribe for more videos like this. Lucifer's followers grew in number, and together they plotted against God. They sought to overthrow him, to take his place as the supreme being. They believed that with their power and intellect, they could create a world that would be greater than anything God could ever imagine. As they plotted and schemed, God watched from his throne. He knew what was happening, but did not intervene, for he believed that his angels would see the error of their ways and return to him. But Lucifer and his followers were too consumed by their own pride and ambition. They believed that they could do better than God and create a world greater than anything he had ever made. They continued to plot and scheme, until one day, they made their move. And so the war between good and evil began, a battle that will rage on for eternity. But despite the darkness that had consumed Lucifer and his followers, God never lost faith in his creation. He continued to watch over them, hoping they would one day find their way back to the light of his love. Lucifer's name itself is shrouded in mystery. The word Lucifer comes from the Latin word for light bearer and was originally used to refer to the planet Venus as it appeared in the morning sky. In Christian theology, Lucifer is often associated with pride and vanity, and is said to have been cast out of heaven for refusing to bow down to God. Despite his villainous reputation, there are some who argue that Lucifer's rebellion against God was actually a noble act of defiance. According to this interpretation, Lucifer saw the injustice and tyranny of God's rule and sought to challenge it in the name of freedom and independence. Another interesting aspect of Lucifer's character is his role as a tempter and deceiver. In the Bible, he's depicted as the serpent who tempts Eve to eat from the forbidden tree in the Garden of Eden. This has led some to speculate that Lucifer may have actually been trying to help humanity by giving them knowledge and free will, which God had been trying to keep from them. There are also many myths and legends about Lucifer that have developed over time. In some traditions, he is said to have been a beautiful angel who was jealous of God's attention to humans and rebelled out of spite. In others, he is portrayed as a fallen angel who's condemned to wander the earth and tempt humans until the end of time. Do you think that Lucifer's rebellion against God was justified or a result of his pride and vanity? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more intriguing discussions about the mysteries of the universe.